YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro, checking out another angle here for recording my videos, seeing if I like it or not. Got a different setup here. Actually, I'll show you the thing that I got in a second here when I go through all the different items I got for this pickup video. So I'll get started on this right now. Actually, I might as well show that to you first. Actually, what it is, I ordered it off of eBay, really cheap. I mean, came from China kind of thing. But it does the job, and that's kind of the idea behind it. Is it's actually a mount for my camera, because I use my Samsung Galaxy S4 for recording my videos, and so basically this just has a screw for the tripod, the what do you call it, the quick release portion of it, and so you just screw that in, and then you can lift this up, and you can put pretty much like any phone in there you want, and it'll fit just about anything. So it fits my Samsung kind of perfectly, so that's really why I decided to go for this. And I bought two of these actually just because they're so cheap. It's like $3 or something like that. Nothing epically made or anything like that, but locally they wanted something very similar to this. Actually, it looks almost identical to it. They wanted $20, and I wasn't going to pay $20 for a little mount for my camera, so I thought I would try these out, and so far so good. Works kind of nicely, and hopefully I'll be able to get some use out of it. Moving on from that though, I did pick up a number of different video game items here, and this is all in a variety of different times here, because actually, if you've been noticing, I haven't been around too much. I haven't really posted any videos in the last week. That's because I was out of town, so I didn't really have a chance to get out doing too much, although I did find a couple of video games when I was out of town, but I wasn't really in a position to record a video or anything like that and edit it and things like that. So this is what I got anyways. This is starting sort of the end of last week and today, so I'll get started on that right now. Last week I walked into an EB Games just because I was in the mall. I don't normally go into EB that often, but I decided to this time around, and the thing I picked up was this Quick Draw Rattleshake. And so this is just a different variant of Rattleshake, which I didn't have already. Wasn't really aware of this because I'm not really on the hunt for variants and things like that, but when I do see them I end up picking them up. So there he is right there. He's one of the swap characters, and I do like Rattleshake, so that's a cool version of him. I believe he may actually glow in the dark. It looks like his body is that like glow in the dark kind of thing, so actually I'll test that out with you guys right now. We'll see. I'll just charge him up a little bit and we'll check it out. So unfortunately he's not luminous enough to capture on my camera, but he does in fact glow in the dark, so that's really cool right there. I don't know if I'm not aware if there's other glow in the dark ones for the Swap Force. I know there's different ones, but you know, pretty cool. I like that addition to the collection. I like the color scheme and everything on that too. While I was at that EB Games, I did pick up a couple of titles because they did have a deal, basically like 2 games for $8. They're basically like older games. So I went through and I found a couple that I thought were interesting. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I just picked them up because they looked something that I might like to play. So the first one here is The Last Remnant, and this here again was $4. You know, which from an EB Games, it's a pretty good deal, considering the fact that, you know, that's the same thing as a thrift shop. Basically, they always put these little stickers on them, so I'll just take that off so I can open that up here, check it out. But it is totally complete, which is obviously one of the reasons why I decided to pick it up. And it has both. That's pretty cool. I thought for that amount of money, this looks like a kind of slasher kind of game. So I don't know. Pretty fun anyways. I'll check that out. It's Square Enix, so hopefully that's a good sign. And then I also picked up this one here, which is N3 99 Nights, and this one here looks like one of those, I don't know what they call them, like gigantic battle kind of fighters. I don't really know what you call those. You let me know, like strategic battle or something like that. Pretty cool nonetheless. Again, one of these stickers, so I don't have to rip this off of here. Just a second. Yeah, so there it is there. And then that's also complete, has a disc and everything like that. So again, something I don't know a whole lot about. I think this was probably an early title. It says 2006 on it, so it is one of the early titles. So we'll have to see if it holds up over time, kind of thing. So those are the finds though from EB Games. Moving on from that, I also walked into a Value Village. I think this one was from. Yeah, this was in a Value Village. Destruction Derby 2, which I didn't have in my collection. Case is a little beat up. Interestingly enough, this one has I don't know if it's a sticker on it or it's actually part of the manual, but it's like for Canadian use only. So that's kind of neat right there. That'll obviously stay on there even if it is a sticker. Yeah, it is a sticker that's been put on there, so I don't know if that was something that was supposed to be on there or if someone added it after the fact, but nonetheless, I'm going to leave that on there. It's pretty cool. And the disc on this one is, it's a little bit scuffed up, but it should play, which is kind of nice. Overall, pretty happy with that. Enjoy Destruction Derby kind of games. If you haven't played them, you should check them out. And this is a nice addition to the collection. And for this one here, I believe I paid $1.99. I'm trying to go from memory here just because, like I said, some of the stuff was last week, so that was pretty cool right there. Moving on, I stopped in again at a different Value Village and I picked out a few different items, kind of interesting. The first one here is it's called Digital Diamond, and this is, I don't usually pick up like these handheld things, but I thought this one was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't light up, so it's either got issues with the lights inside of it, or there could be like any number of mechanical issues wrong with this. But basically, it's like an old school handheld game. This is from 1978, so I was born in 77, so this is like almost as old as I am. The way that this works though is, let me see here, you kind of draw it in and then you can like fire the ball or whatever, and you can't really see that because it isn't lit up, but it's totally like a manual kind of thing. Like you keep your own score over here on the side, and it has like the home one, and then down here is the visitors, and then you keep your score down at the bottom here. Just slide those over. It says how many strikes you have, how many outs and all that kind of things, and then this goes up like that. You hit, it depends on which side you're on, but you hit the in this case you hit the ball icon, and the ball, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but the ball actually travels. Kind of weird though. The only way I can get it to travel is not in the right direction. It kind of like veers off every single time, like it's a ball every single time. So I don't know if there's something wrong with this, but it's still kind of neat nonetheless. Probably won't be something I'll keep in my collection, but I thought I would pick it up, and for that one there I paid $2.99, so that's pretty cool right there. Moving on from that, I also picked up another one of these plug and plays. I see these a lot, but I don't always pick them up. But this one here has a number of different games that I'm interested in on it. It has Pac-Man. I think it has like Centipede or Millipede or something like that on there as well. So it's not in the world's greatest shape, and it definitely needs to be cleaned up because there's like some disgustingness right just in that one. There's like really filthy, but the joystick and everything feels good. And there are batteries in it because it lights up. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it lights up. So hopefully that'll work and everything like that. And I'm not looking for all of these, but I do have the Miss Pac-Man one, and then also this one as well. So that's kind of cool. Getting back to more video game related things though, like actual games, I decided to pick this up from a Value Village. And again, the interesting thing with this one is that I already have it in my collection. I am a huge fan of the series. Not worth a whole lot, but I still love it. The thing with this one is it's the black label, and mine's the Greatest Hits edition. So I thought I would pick it out, and it's Cool Borders 4. So that's totally complete, by the way. And I had seen it the one day there, and sorry, the disc condition there is pretty decent. There's a few scrapes and things like that on it, but it's not that bad. It should play. I do have the Greatest Hits edition, like I was saying there, and I really wanted to upgrade it to Black Label, not because I care that much about it, it's just my other Cool Borders games are all Black Label, so I kind of wanted to match them up a little bit. And for this one here, I think I paid $1.99, but it says $3.99 on the back of it, but again, they charged me $1.99. They charged me like it's a CD, so I think it was $1.99. I'm trying to remember, it might have been $2.99, not totally certain, but still a pretty cool deal right there. And then moving on, actually, I got another item from eBay, kind of interesting, because I picked up a DSi, and I never had a DSi before. I picked up a black DSi a little while back, and so I went out and actually went on eBay and I picked out a charger for it. It's just a aftermarket kind of charger kind of thing, but it's not a Nintendo branded one, so hopefully this still works out. It should work. I've bought these like aftermarket power supplies before, and although they're sort of cheaply made, they do get the job done, so hopefully that'll work out. I can't remember what I paid for this, honestly. Just a few dollars though, so nothing major there. And then moving on from that, before I left for my vacation here, I went out and bought a number of different items from Target, because Target was having a super massive discount on this. I think for all 5 games that I picked out, I paid $45, which if you know, and that's like including tax and everything, so it's a really good deal. Most of these games were $7, some of them were $10, but I'll get down to that. I can't remember what I paid for each one. I think this one was a $7 game, and it's Scribblenauts for the DS. Again, this is sealed and everything like that. If you've never checked out Scribblenauts, go check it out. It's tons of fun. Basically, you like write in what you want to have the person do or whatever, and that ends up happening in the thing. It's so strange. It has such a wide vocabulary of things that you can do. Like, you can put descriptive words and stuff like that. I can't remember if it was this version or maybe it was like Super Scribblenauts or something like that that I was playing. I can't remember if it was this one or the other one, but nonetheless, this is a fun series. If it looks like really kiddish and stuff like that, but it's actually kind of challenging at times. You got to figure out like certain ways of solving certain puzzles and things like that. If you haven't checked out Scribblenauts, go check out some gameplay of that or a review or something like that. Really fun game, not super valuable, but still a blast to play for sure, and I wanted to get it in my collection. Something else that I picked up, and I saw some really good reviews on this game, so I thought I would check it out. I think this was a $7 game, not totally certain, but it's Just Cause 2, which is kind of awesome. I've never played any of these Just Cause games, but I've heard they're pretty cool. So I thought I would pick this up as part of that deal, that's for sure. And then I also picked up Final Fantasy XIV, and this is A Realm Reborn. I have no idea about this title. I played original Final Fantasy games. I have played a few, you know, different ones, but I like sort of stopped in the PlayStation 1 era. Like, I didn't really go much further than that. Never had a PlayStation 2, so never really played the other Final Fantasy games. I know that's really strange to hear, but I had an Xbox and they didn't have Final Fantasy on Xbox, so that's the way that went. But this is an online only game, so I don't know if I'm going to hold on to this, because, you know, eventually the servers go down and this becomes basically junk, and that's unfortunate, but that's the way that works sometimes. But still, cool addition to the collection. And then a game which I thought was supposed to be kind of decent, and then I looked up some reviews later and people were sort of complaining about it. I'll check it out for myself, because I like things that other people sort of don't like sometimes, so that's okay. It's Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, and I think for this one here I think this was a $7 game as well. I'm trying to remember. Some were 7, some were 10. I think that Final Fantasy game was 10. This one here I think was 7, and still, you know, sealed and everything like that. 3DS games, I don't have a whole lot. I do have a 3DS, but I can't bring myself to go out there and drop tons of money on it, because I don't play it that often. So when it comes to getting like games cheaply or whatever, I'm going to pick them up just so I can check them out. And I think the problem with this one is people were trying to compare it to console versions of it, of Batman games, and obviously a handheld's not going to be able to do the same thing that, you know, PlayStation 4 and stuff like that does, but still, cool addition to the collection, and one of the few 3DS games that I actually have, so that's kind of nice. And then the last one, and this is something I wanted to get, but again, wasn't willing to pay for the price tag on it. You know, this one here is $10, so I thought I'd go for it. It's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which is, people say it's like a Smash Brothers clone or something like that. I don't really see that totally in it. Obviously it has some similarities to it, but still pretty awesome. You get all the different environments and all from PlayStation stuff, and since, you know, I originally had the PlayStation back in the day, there's like cool things like Parappa the Rapper and stuff like that in this, so that's kind of fun, and totally going to enjoy this one, and a welcomed edition. And again, all of those are like brand new, so for all of those you know, 5 games that I just showed you there, that was $45 including tax, so basically, you know, like a little less than 40 bucks for 5 games, which is really awesome. Moving on from that, I went, this is while I was actually out of town, I went into a Tali's in a totally different city. Actually, it's in my home city where I'm originally from, and I picked out 3 titles there. Nothing major, they're $2.99 each, but one of them I definitely needed. Other ones here are things that I can use, like maybe for trade or whatever. One of them I'm going to add in my collection, even though I don't know if I'm going to check it out or not. We'll have to see about that. We'll get started on that anyways. The one that I was really looking into is Moto Racer 2 for the original PlayStation. Unfortunately, this one does have most of its manual. It's missing the back part of the manual, and it's missing the back artwork, which is really unfortunate. The disc condition on this is, well, it's so-so. I have to clean it up because it's kind of dirty and stuff like that, but it should play, so I thought I'd pick this one out. Didn't have it in the collection already. Obviously I'm going to upgrade this later because it's missing the back art and all that kind of stuff, which also means that it's missing a side label, which is unfortunate, but I hadn't seen that one out in the wild yet, so I thought I would grab it. Something I already have in my collection, but I need a little bit of upgrade here and there, is this one right here, Tomb Raider Last Revelation. And the only thing with this is just the manual and stuff like that are in better shape than the one that I have, so I'm going to use that. This one here is really dusty, but there are a few swirls on it and stuff like that. I'll have to clean that disc off. It's really dusty, but still cool to be able to do a little bit of upgrading and stuff like that. And always enjoyed Tomb Raider games, so that's pretty cool. The last one here is sort of hit or miss. I don't really know a whole lot about this, and I'm not totally into golf games, but I thought I would add it into the collection just because it's so ridiculous of a cover, and that is Cyber Tiger. I like that ridiculous, like, caricature or whatever you call it of Tiger Woods, kind of funny looking or whatever, but thought I'd check it out anyway. Sometimes golf games are kind of fun. I know like Hot Shots golf are kind of fun. This looks like sort of a similar kind of idea to that. In other words, you know, it's kind of like goofy and silly a little bit and whatnot. So I'll check this one out anyways, and welcome this addition to the collection. I know it's probably not that valuable, but still, each of those, like I said, was $2.99 each, so not too bad at all. Then moving on from that, I just got back into town actually, and we were going out for dinner, my wife and I and my son, so we stopped in at a place where we frequently have meals and things like that, and it's right next to one of the thrift shops. So I went in and actually found quite a few titles there, which pretty happy. About 4 titles here. There's actually a few more, but I didn't bother to pick them up. Interestingly enough, no matter what, they seem to always undercharge me for games and stuff like that when I go in here. So anyways, you take a look at it, you tell me what you think. So let's get started here. The first one here is Spyro Enter the Dragonfly for the GameCube. This is the Player's Choice Edition. Not that big of a deal for me, like, to do that. I'd like to get the other ones, but you know, sometimes that's the way it goes. Unfortunately, the case is a little bit cracked up and stuff like that, so I'm gonna have to deal with that, but I do have replacement cases, so that's perfectly fine. This one here, the disc is a little bit scuffed up. It's not too bad, and unfortunately it is missing its manual, which is kind of a bummer, but that's the way that goes. So pretty cool right there. I believe I already have this in my collection, so This is probably going to be end up for trade. It says 505 on it, but they only charged me 303 for it, so that's the way it goes. Moving on, something that I didn't even know actually existed, so it's kind of cool to find it because I am a huge fan of the series, and the rest of the stuff all falls in line with this. So it is Army Men Sarge's War, and that's also for the GameCube. I love the Army Men games on the PlayStation 1. These cases are really beat up though, unfortunately, and it's missing the manual, but that's okay because the disc is something that will be playable. It's a little bit scuffed up, but at the same time, it's kind of, you know, when I find things that go on the GameCube specifically, but things that like this that I really want to check out, I wasn't even aware that it existed. That's pretty cool right there. So again, 303 for that. I'm not going to turn that down. You know, basically loose disc, because this case is kind of beat up, but it does have the front artwork, so that's nice. I'll do a little case swap and stuff like that, and check that one out, that's for sure, because I love that series. Moving on, a game I already have in my collection, I just cannot leave these behind. It does need a case replacement because it's a little bit beat up, but that's Army Men Air Attack 2. And I think the one that I have might be like a collector's edition or something like that, so I'm not totally certain about that. I'll have to look into that, but there it is right there. Pretty cool. Manual's not in perfect shape. It's like missing a chunk down the corner there, and the disc has a few scuffs and things like that on it, but it's not too bad. I think I already have this one in my collection. I can't remember off the top of my head, like I said though, but I love these Army Men games, so, and these Air Attack ones are really good, so definitely check them out. And then one I never actually played before, even though I do like these games a lot, is Army Men World War Final Front. And I've seen the other Army Men games out there quite a bit, but I've never seen this one out there, so really happy to pick this one up. Oh, I didn't mention it, but this one here I paid $2.02 for, and this one here is also $2.02, so that's really cool. You know, I started playing the Army Men games like when they first came on the PlayStation, really enjoyed them, and they just got better along the way, and I think this was the final one. This one was from 2001, so anyways, this is something I'm looking forward to. The case is a little beat up, manual's not perfect, but it's still, you know, functional kind of thing. It's not falling apart totally. The disc is sort of like the other one. It's not in the world's greatest shape, but it will be playable and things like that. If not, I can always fix that part of it. Really fun though. If you haven't checked out Army Men games, you definitely need to. One of my favorite kind of series on the original PlayStation. And the cool thing about it is the games are super cheap, so you can really pick up like all of them for probably, you know, like 25 bucks or 20 bucks basically, and that's pretty awesome right there. Anyways, that was everything that I picked up. I mean, there's a lot of things going on there. Pretty long video, but hopefully you enjoyed all that. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.